Hi everyone and welcome to the latest video here on my channel. Hi, I am Retro Bear, which it will say somewhere here very shortly. If you are new to the channel, hello, thanks for stopping by. This is where I show lots of sort of pickups, the odd bit of gameplay, and generally sort of chat for about half an hour, and gradually while you sort of drift off to sleep and then you wake up the next morning with my sort of paused face on your laptop wondering what on earth you're watching the previous night. If you are not new to the channel, I'm back again for another dose of stuff that I've been buying in shops recently. Hello, and nice to see you once again. Yes, so another week goes by and another round of pickups. Generally speaking, not a great week. I think I've had a purple patch the last couple of weeks or so where I've just sort of encountered good stuff. By all means, watch the previous video. Certainly anything that's been posted sort of, I think it was the last one in December, and then the last two I've done the start of this year off. Not so good this week, and I think I might have, hopefully I haven't sort of encountered all the good stuff in January, because otherwise it's going to be a very long year. So we've had to sort of reassess and console myself with yeah, just odd bits and pieces which will fill the shelves quite nicely. But there is one, as always, really good sort of thing I did find, which is going to be great to share with. Also, some exciting news towards the end of this week's show. I'll let you know that when we get there. Shouldn't be too long, but something which I think hopefully will be of interest to a lot of people who have been following me over the course of the last 7 or 8 months. It's going to be an interesting experience anyway, so I'll tell you a bit more about that a bit later. There's a reason to stay tuned, or you can just fast forward towards the end of it and miss all the stuff out in between. I'll leave it up to you. Right, so again, as always, it's a bit of something for everybody. When I say a bit of something, in some cases I do mean it's one bit, and we're moving on to the other stuff, because it really wasn't an awful lot this week. It was a bit of a truncated trip out, I've got to be honest with you. My plan wasn't to go where I wanted to go, because my other half asked me to do something and call in and see her dad, which was absolutely fine. And where he lives is right next to one of my usual places to go, but I wasn't planning on going there. So it didn't quite work out as I wanted to do. I got some, I mean, I did get lucky with a couple of things, which is great, but not the sort of trip I planned on doing in the first place. So that's going to hold over to next week. And I think I was out for something like 6 hours yesterday, which and not much of that was spent sort of going around looking for games. A lot of it was doing other stuff. I had to do shopping as well. So when I got back, because of my advancing age and gradually decreasing body in terms of what it can do anymore, my right ankle was in a lot of pain last night, and it's still not great today. So probably a sign I'm getting older. I have to do these trips a lot quicker now, or I'm going to have to plan my trips in advance, which is not how I like to do it, because one of the things that people ask me more commonly than anything else is, what are your collecting goals this year, or what are you looking for this year, or is anything you go out for in particular? Well, no, I always buy my stuff on the fly. I don't go out with any ideas whatsoever about what I want to do, apart from a couple of weeks ago when I went out and bought a Wii U, which I wanted to do anyway. And the only reason I did that was because I had the money for Christmas to do so. Very rarely will I go out and sort of say, I'm definitely going to try and get hold of this week, because I always end up being disappointed. So for me, it's much better to go out and just sort of like, oh, I found that, great, I'll pick it up and bring it home and put it amongst the collection and add it to the growing list of what I sort of, you know, don't refer to them as games, sort of surrogate children. And most of them have stories. Some of them don't. Some of them are just sort of picked up because they're there, but there are interesting stories about some of them. So that they're more than just things on shelves. Yeah, it's a bit weird. I should get out more, shouldn't I? Spend my weekends doing something more constructive. Right, let's start off with this week's collection of games. And up first, the game I've already owned twice on the PS2 and the Wii. Am I trying to corner the market in multi-format versions of this game? I have no idea. I could be a secret hoarder. You may have already sort of picked up on that, I don't know. So first one this week is Quantum of Solace on the 360. Oh, that's an inconvenient time to ring, isn't it? Oh, bloody hell. Oh dear me, the perils of live broadcasting. This is what happens when you can't be bothered to edit your broadcast afterwards. because I do it all in, you know, well, you've probably seen it if you watched it before. I just tend to do everything all in one go. And if it's crap, it's crap. And if I make a mistake or I drop something or I stumble over my words, which is quite often, I say, there we go. Happens at least once or twice a video. I just can't be bothered to sit there and edit it all out. It just warts and all. Sorry, but there you go. So, yes, so thank you very much to my other half's mother for ringing in if you are watching. That was you. I know it's you because I can see your name coming up on the phone. We'll start again, shall we? So, Quantum of Solace on the 360. And it's never worked with Animal Children's or your other arse mother. Nicely complete. This was picked up for 99p in a charity shop. I think it's 150 in CX. Not a huge saving, but I'm not a big fan of James Bond either, so I don't know. One for the hoarders there. So that was the only 360 game this week, which is a good thing because I've now... you can sort of see over this shoulder here. More not that shelf. Well, that shelf is actually the overspill at the moment, which will now be full because I've already got 2 Wii games sort of stuck on top there. The shelf below it is where the 360 stuff lies at the moment, and the idea is at the moment will be to try and move that possibly up there. But I've got a day off coming up, not this Monday, the Monday after, because it's Super Bowl Sunday. You may have picked up I'm an American football fan over the course of the last few months or so. If you haven't, I've been putting subtle hints in there. So I tend to take a day off. I take off on the Monday after the Super Bowl because I can still just about, with a couple of hours kip on a Sunday afternoon, pull off going through the entire game without falling asleep. The last couple of years or so, it's got a bit more difficult. I mean, I think age beginning to catch up with me. Right, tangent. Did you enjoy it? Great, there we go. So one game on the original Xbox this week, which is Legends of Wrestling. This is on original Xbox. Again, nice looking condition on the inside there. I had this when it first came out, and a lot of people don't like the Legends of Wrestling games. They're all right. They're not, they're not going to win any design awards, and they probably wouldn't break into your top 20 favourite wrestling games of all time. But they ain't bad. They're better than some people make them out to be. Strange control method, I know, but the good thing about it at the time when they came out was you were able to get so many of these guys likenesses and bits and pieces because they weren't sort of tied to Legends contracts and things like they have been after this. So image rights and wrestlers be able to take part and use their images, and that was pretty much no problem at all. I mean, the names on here. Hogan, Hulk Hogan, Bret Hart, Jerry the King Lawler, Rob Van Dam, the Road Warriors, Superfly Snooker, Terry Funk, Ted DiBiase, George the Animal Steel, Captain Lou Albano, Jimmy Hart. So, and also some of them have got there. If they weren't in the WWF at the time, then they were in WCW. They had to use their music and things like that as well. So, yeah, you probably wouldn't be able to do something like that now with a lot of lights out of that. But anyway, there we go. I'm babbling now. That was 99p. Again, I don't think that was a huge saving of what it is in the shop, but I've got Legends of Wrestling 2 for... I'm just trying to see, it's down there somewhere. Yes, Legends of Wrestling 2 for the Xbox, and I think I've got Legends of Wrestling Showdown for the PlayStation 2, but if it is up there, it's sort of got a glare of light on it and I can't see. That's why I wear glasses. Oh, Legends of Wrestling 3, I think, yeah, so I've got a couple of those titles anyway. And one Wii game this week. And I'm getting a bit fed up with the Wii games because I've got so many, and I can't add to the total because I've got so many. I've got practically now most of the cheap ones, so everything now is going to cost me, a bit more, and therefore if it's going to cost me a bit more, it's going to take either go out and just buy Wii games each week, or if I wanted to build the other items I've got, the other machines I collect for, I'd have to stop collecting for those, which seems a real shame now because I've collected quite a lot for the PlayStation 2 and the Xbox, and at the moment what I'm hearing about the Xbox is that some of the game prices are beginning to sort of go, and people are taking an interest in that machine to collect for. So some of that stuff now might start to move also. So it's a tricky one to go to. I mean, I'm as a collector, I'm investing. I'm not in buying stuff to sell on. That's not how I do it. I buy, I look at this as an investment, building a collection. I'm not, racing to get a full set for anything. But if I can get a big collection of games for a system for a, small cost, Great, you know, I can buy stuff at 50p and a quid. Fine, I can get loads of games. So the Wii stuff is really, really now getting difficult. Even in charity shops. One yesterday I saw some absolutely common titles like the Wii Fit games, a couple of the workout games which I've got, and they were sort of asking 250 times, which is way, way more than they're worth. Way more. I know it's a charity shop and it's you know, that's what it goes towards, but I'd much rather give them £2.50 a donation or buy something else with it. They are ridiculous prices to pay for games, especially those ones as well, which Wii Fit and, you know, common as anything. You can. I used to buy Wii Fit copies if the cases were good, because they would be sold at 50p in CX, and then just basically chuck the game away. It used to pay me to do it, because I don't like throwing anything away, but no good to me to buy the case. The case was, you know, a nice case for a crappy case I've got there, was what I used to do with those. So anyway, but this one game I hadn't seen before, which is actually great. I picked this up in CX for £2, which again is a bit more than I usually spend, but needs must. And this is Sprint Cars, made by Nordic Games, and I don't think it's been played. Oops, there's the microphone, and you can't really see that. It's. I'll just try and read this off the back here. It says, "Push your driving abilities to the limit of the wheel of winged sprint cars. Power sliding, lightweight, high-powered cars across dirt, ice, and snow tracks. With high-speed collisions on almost every corner, sprint car racing is extreme octane motorsport." Now, if it's going to be high-speed collisions on every corner, then obviously there is a steering issue with the controls, possibly. But just say split-screen head-to-head racing, test drive or championship, chassis and engine damage. That's always good. That's what put off Gran Turismo for many years, the fact they refused to acknowledge that cars could actually be hit and sort of scratched up and damaged, no matter how many times you try to drive it into the wall. Unlockable bonus features and dirt ovals and extreme circuits crossing ice and sand. Sounds fun. So yeah, £2, a bit more than I usually pay for a Wii game, but I hadn't seen that one before. So nice to pick that one up. And a couple of PS3 games. First up is what I was doing. I always try and find at least one game per system. I'm at the moment, you know, I'm focused on PS2, PS3, Xbox 360, and the Wii, and then, you know, anything else after that is a bonus. So I always try and find something for each system and find one game. Great, you know, I've got one Xbox 360, one Wii this week. So I did pick a couple of PS3 games up. And you can always guarantee that at some point, if you're trying to find a game somewhere that you haven't got, there's bound to be one in the Tom Clancy series. So Tom Clancy's Hawks, which cost me the grand total of 75p. It has an exclusive plane in there, which basically, which it isn't an unlockable one. Well, it is an unlockable one. It's just that anybody can do it. It tells you how to get to it. And also, very kindly gave me 2 manuals as well. I'm not sure why I need 2 manuals. I think we played a demo of this when it first. This is how old it was when we got PlayStation 3, reasonably early into its life, and we got one of the 60 gig ones, I think, to start with. And we missed out on the 80 gig backwards compatible ones. And I think we played a demo of this at the time, and I can't remember if we were distinctly impressed or not. I don't know. All I know, it's not Afterburner, which is what I really would have wanted, because I missed that one at the time when they redid Afterburner as a HD remake, and I missed that one. But 75p, you're not going to crumble too much at that. And again, exactly the same with Red Faction Guerrilla, which is still not a game about an indigenous animal population living in the mountains of the Andes. It is actually something to do with guerrilla warfare. You may remember that joke from about 3 months ago when I bought the 360 version, and I think I told it far better at the time anyway. But it does say at the back, Smash Authority, which I think is quite a good line to have at the moment with the way things are in this country. 75p, and it's meant to be one of the best open world playgrounds we've experienced, says Games Master Magazine. I think it's meant to be very good, but I haven't played the 360 one yet. I'm not good people who watch us buy stuff and it sort of sits on the shelves, and then one day I'll actually play it and go, right. So PlayStation 2 time, and this is where the big find of the week comes in. And I've been looking for this particular thing for some time. Let's just go a quick swig here. That is Diet Coke, by the way. I'm not drinking at 3:30 in the afternoon. Not yet, and not on a Sunday anyway. yes, so this particular thing I've been sort of after for some time, and I've been stunned by the lack of availability and also the cost of it. This item at the moment sets you back about 10 quid in CEX, and you're never quite sure what you're going to get. Is it going to come in a box, or is it going to come loose? So I sort of walked into Cash Converters, which is rapidly becoming my favourite branch of Cash. I have two close to me, and one was brilliant. One was brilliant. You get loads of games in there, and I sort of dropped off a little bit. And this other one, in the recent months, I think in the last sort of 6 weeks, I bought a PlayStation, still PlayStation 2, second hand for 25 quid. Bought my Wii U for 79.99, and now I bought this in there. And they do get some interesting stuff in there. I'm really I really like going there now. So don't have so much in the game. The games tend to be quite, what's the word? Challengingly priced, not competitively priced, because I'll be buying them from there more often. They're challengingly priced because they seem to be the same price as they are anywhere else, which isn't what usually the case with Cash Converter. They tend to be a little bit cheaper. So, as I said, usually £10 goes around, and again, you're not sure if you're going to come boxed, so I'm really pleased to see this. Now, the box isn't the greatest condition, I'm going to be honest with you. And I know there's probably a few people out there who are probably going to sort of like, well, you could probably get a better one than that. And I've been threatening this for quite some time. There we go, the SingStar dual microphone pack for the PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3. And to get it that complete, I think is not bad. If you've never seen one of these before, this is what you need to be able to play the game, which is this little this little thing here, which is, I think quite clearly says on the front, it's SingStar branded, and it's a USB connector. That pops into your PS2, PS3, and then what happens there is you plug your microphone into there and it connects. And I see I've tried to play SingStar games without using that connector, and it simply won't have it, which is really annoying, because I get fed up when people do things like that. For their, you must use this, you must use that. I'll just get one of the microphones out. I'll show you. They're pretty weighty things, I tell you. If you've not seen a SingStar microphone, that's what they're like. It does have that little connector on the end there, which is the blue one, which goes into that hole there. And then you can sing away to your heart's content. If Dave, who plays retro games badly, is watching, we had a bit of a conversation, a two-line conversation about he put a video up of me playing Britney's Dance Beat earlier on this week, and I sort of said, well, I've already got that game, so if you fancy a dance off, let me know. And he thinks it's a good idea. So there's a challenge, Dave. I'm now going to put up a few videos of me singing. We'll see how we'll see how that goes, and if that works out fine, then we might do that Britney Dance Beat. But you can't use a dance mat on that, I'm sure of it. I'm sure I played it with pad only. There must be some games. I've got a dance mat somewhere knocking around. Anyway, get back to me. Coming back to why I've got this, and the fact that I can't sing a note. Sometimes you just feel like you just want to sing, and honestly and truthfully, having looked through some of the song titles on the SingStar games, there are some really good songs. Whether you can sing or not, it makes a difference. I played SingStar once on the PlayStation 3. Me and two of my mates tried to sing U2's Beautiful Day, and we were absolutely awful, but we had a real fun time doing it. Was it Beautiful Day? Yes, it was. Yeah, I think it was. What was a U2 song anyway? This, my friends, set me back $1.99, and it didn't surprise anybody in Cash Converters, because the two people behind the counter told me, they said, "See, told you it wouldn't last very long." And I did actually tell them at the time. I said, "Oh right." I said, "Oh, well, that's good." I said, because I'm after these for quite some time now, and I said they are getting quite hard to get hold of, especially in the box. So I think for $1.99, that's a pretty good find, and without a shadow of a doubt, what I've got here and what I'm about to show you, find of the week, without any question. And it will join the rest of the cardboard box collection in the box of peripherals, which I've yet to do a video on. And that's a video in itself, because all the stuff I buy like this, which has got anything which you simply can't go on a shelf, goes in the box. Giant cardboard box in the corner of our spare bedroom. Another thing Mrs. RB really loves is that box getting bigger and bigger. So there we go. So $1.99 for those. I don't think that was too bad at all. What else have we got? PlayStation 2 stuff then this week is all it's going to be about. I hadn't seen this one before. This is Ben-Hur, Blood of Braves. It had only come into CEX that morning. There we go. It's a 2002 title, so I think it's a fairly early one. I remember seeing this in a video last week, the week before. Somebody posted a video of like 100 PlayStation 2 games you may not have heard of, and this was one of them. I certainly hadn't heard of it. So when I came across it in the shop yesterday, I thought, I've heard of that one. And it only come in that day. I'm a bit suspicious about that, because that CEX sticker there, which you can't, which was there, and you can hear that, appears to have been there an awful lot longer than that morning, because the other one came off without any problem. But that was 75p. Not too bad a price to pay for that one. And because I'm having a bit of a non-event day, I did treat myself, and like I said, spent a bit more than I usually do. I spent £2.50 on this one, but I think I had to, really, in the grand scheme of things. This is Space Invaders Anniversary, which came out in 2003 for the 25th anniversary edition. The manual's a bit damaged, but the disc is absolutely immaculate. I'm not sure what happened there. You can see that nice sort of fall design on that alien on the front there. You can see it maybe a little bit there. And there's 9 different versions of Space Invaders on this. There's also a 3D and a co-op and a versus mode, and an opportunity to enter Taisho's virtual arcade and bring back those memories. My first memory of Space Invaders was playing it on the 2600, and I used to play it so vigorously back then. I actually took the skin off the inside of my thumb, blistered it basically. Yeah, so that was £2.50, a bit more than I usually pay, but I'd seen it a few times in there and walked past it, but I thought, having a bit of a non-event day, if I'm not going to buy two or three games, I might as well buy that for it and stick that one on the shelf. It's a nice title to have. Next up, SingStar Legends. There's a surprise. That must be because I bought some SingStar microphones. I do actually own 3 SingStar games prior to this, which I'd bought because I thought, well, I was going to get the microphones at some point. This one includes 30 tracks, and do I have to read them all out to you? Not necessarily. If I just read you some highlights, Barry White, You're the First, My Last, My Everything, Blur's Park Life, for those of you who watched my video a few weeks about You Sing, I think before Christmas, I think it was, and I sort of mentioned, I bought that because Park Life was on there, and that was the only song I fancy singing. What else have we got? Ella Fitzgerald and Louis Armstrong, Let's Call the Whole Thing Off. I used to do a Louis Armstrong impression back in the day. I did. I don't think I could do it now. It's been a long time. Elton John's Rocket Man, Johnny Cash, Ring of Fire. These are songs I can sing. Pet Shop Boys, Always on My Mind. The Jackson 5, I Want You Back. Unchained Melody by the Righteous Brothers. I'm not going to try that one. And yeah, some decent ones on that one. Not one of the better ones I looked at. That was, I think, 50p, that one. SingStar Party, which I think was 75p. Inside of that one. I wonder why I bought that. There's some decent songs on that one, were there? Ashford and Simpson Solid, Bill Withers, Ain't No Sunshine. Cyndi Lauper, Girls Just Wanna Have Fun. Elton John and Kiki D, Don't Go Breaking My Heart. Franz Ferdinand, Take Me Out. Elvis, Way Down. I can do Elvis, I think. Sonny and Cher, I Got You, Babe. Spice Girls, Who Do You Think You Are? Yeah, I've been asking myself that for years. And I must admit, I didn't realise until I got home. From my favourite films of all time, There's Something About Mary. The Foundations, Build Me Up, Buttercup. There's a big smile on my face when I saw that one. I think that one was 50p again. One of these cost 75. So, SingStar 80s. Perhaps it was that one. I don't know. Lurid pink cover at the back. I did check all you got the manuals to come with them first anyway. And there's some real 80s songs on there. Alice Cooper, Poison, Belinda Carlisle, Heaven Is a Place on Earth, Billy Joel, Uptown Girl, Blondie Atomic, Culture Club, Karma Chameleon, Dexys Midnight Runners, Common Eileen. I should have the Pick of the Pops music playing in the background, shouldn't I? Dolly Parton's 9 to 5, Erasure, A Little Respect, You're at the Final Countdown, Foreigner, I Want to Know What Love Is. Oh yeah, and loads of others. Survivor's Eye of the Tiger, Vanilla Ice, Ice Ice Baby. If you go through these and anybody wants to put a request on, feel free, because I'm not going to do it. That was the one that cost 75p, because I haven't taken the 50p price off this one. Oh look, it's SingStar Anthems. So I went to their 7 SingStar games. I couldn't find any for the PlayStation 3. The only one I could find was PlayStation. SingStar Take That, which I've not really got much interest in singing Take That songs, but I have interest in singing songs by Bananarama. I Heard a Rumour, Bonnie Tyler, Total Eclipse of the Heart, Bucks Fizz, Making Your Mind Up, Candy Staton, Young Hearts Run Free. I like that one. Dead or Alive, You Spin Me Round, Girls Aloud Biology, Gloria Gaynor, I Will Survive, Pussycat Dolls, Don't Cha, Queen, Radio Gaga, Steps, Deeper Shade of Blue. I quite like that one. I realise that that's now in public record. Take That featuring Lulu Relight My Fire, which I only found out a couple of weeks ago was a cover version. Ultra Nate Free, Weather Girls, It's Raining Men, and Whitney Houston, I Want to Dance with Somebody, just some of the highlights off that one there. So yeah, there's quite a few to go through there, and like I said, that cost me 50p. That's missed the bin. So this week's total of games purchased was 11, and money spent on games this week £10.75, which means we've come in under the £1 a game bracket, which I always try and keep below. And the SingStar microphones for £1.99. I don't think that's a bad price to pay, really. Less than 15 Nick has spent for all that lot. Which, if you go back and look at all the other videos, you know it's pretty much true to form. Now, I did say at the start of the video, which probably some people now sort of fast-forwarded to and got all the crap out of the way, some interesting and exciting news. This coming Thursday at 8 PM, which is the 31st of January, that's 8 PM British time. So in America, it'll be 3 o'clock in the afternoon or midday, as if actually anybody in America is going to watch it. I've really got absolutely no interest. You have no interest whatsoever. But I'm going to be doing an interview with a friend of mine called Retro Dude over on his channel. I'll put a link in the bottom of the description. It's going to be a live thing, so anything can happen, and hopefully my other half's mother won't ring halfway through it. Which reminds me, I need to tell people not to phone the house during that time. And it's going to be a live broadcast on his channel, I believe. He's going to interview me about my gaming collection, my interests about it, what we're going to be doing with my channel for the coming year, and also my gaming goals and things like that. It really is going to be absolutely fascinating. I'm absolutely thrilled to be doing it. I've already mentioned this before, so if you're watching, thank you very much indeed again for the chance to talk to you about this. It's going to be really, really fun, and I hope a lot of interesting stuff is going to come out of it. If you are a regular subscriber to the channel, I do hope that you'll be able to pop along and see what's going on for yourself. You may want to join in. You may have a list of questions you want to ask. I'm sure at some point the video will go up on his channel. I'll try and obviously bring it over to here as well, and we can all at least link it through so you can see from there anyway. So that's this Thursday. It's the 31st of January. It's on Retro Dude's channel at 8 PM, and its link will be in the description at the bottom. You want to click on there around those time and see what I've got to say for myself. Like I said, it could be brilliant. It could be a complete load of rubbish. I really have no idea, but I think it will be good. And the great thing about it is I'm not going to obviously have any idea what the questions are going to be. It is going to be literally like going into an interview. I'm not going to be schooled, and I'm not going to be see a list of questions and pre-prepare my answer or anything like that. It will be simply see warts and all, tackle out all that sort of business, balls to the wall, etc. So hopefully it'll work. And if it's good, we might do another one. I don't know. Yeah. There we go. So, that's this coming week. Otherwise, thank you once again very much indeed for watching. Let's hope that you have a good week. And you enjoy your gaming and keep going on. It must be great to watch a video on YouTube which doesn't talk about Kingdom Hearts 3 or Resident Evil 2, because there are a lot of those videos around at the moment. I'm not knocking those sort of games, I've got to be honest with you. They're not really my sort of thing. That's why I like sort of doing stuff like this, because it gives you something else to watch. I did play, just on the subject of that, I did play Resident Evil 2 when it first came out, and I do have a Kingdom Hearts game which I think I played for about an hour, and it just didn't do anything for me. Sorry internet, I disagree. I like the concept though, but not my sort of thing, I'm afraid. Yeah, anyway, so We will see you again very, very soon. Thank you very much indeed for watching. Take care and bye for now.